What's up, y'all? We locked in. We locked in. Sunday night, Sunday night, Sunday night. Share this video. Share this video right now. Yeah, Shawn G was depressed. Shawn G was depressed. In the Win TV, Mag TV, Kyron Daniels. Who was that at the top? I can't really see who that at the top though. Mag TV. Shawn G was depressed, man. I was depressed. I was depressed for 3.5 years. I was depressed for 3.5 years. Check Shawn G out. I need you to share this video.
The techniques and strategies I teach are also free. So please don't ask me if I charge a fee, and don't say it's a... So please don't ask me if I charge a fee, and don't...
Share this video. We locked in. Sunday night. Sunday night. Sunday night. Sunday night. Milton Scott. D. Smitty. I got him, Smitty. Hey, Smitty, you better tell him. Smitty, you better tell them they might as well get ready for the get ready. They might as well get ready for the get ready. Shawn G, I was depressed at one time. I was depressed. In 2011, 2012, 2013, 2014. I was fucked up. I was depressed, man. I was depressed. I was depressed. First of all, I need everybody to give this video a thumbs up. Double tap that screen. But if you don't like it, if you don't like the video, then give it a thumbs down. I don't care. I don't care. Whatever you do, do what you want to do. I don't care. But everybody is ashamed. I used to be ashamed to even say or to even admit that I was in a depression, that I was depressed, because I thought that that was a sign of weakness, which it is. Which it is. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. The real Mike Lowry. The real Mike Lowry. The real Mike Lowry with the dope, where my comment section at? The real Mike Lowry. All right, there you go. The real Mike Lowry. It is a sign of weakness. But it's a reality. It's a fact. 1000%. 1000% it's a fact. And I never will forget it, man. I never will forget it. Um, but being that, look at that moon right there. That moon look pretty. Um, being that I've come to a level of acceptance of who I am and what I am, um, I'm no longer ashamed to talk about this 3.5 year period where my life was very, very dark. My life was very, very dark. I was 40, 2011. I was 42 years old. I was 42 years old. I was 42 years old. And I was a licensed real estate broker. I owned my own financial consulting firm. I owned my own property management company. I had 9 houses. I had 9 houses, 9 units. I used to buy a house a year. I used to buy 1 house every year. That was my mandate to myself. I'm gonna get me a house every year. I had 9 houses. I used to make $400,000 a year in salary to myself. I was self-employed. I used to make $200,000 in February, $330,000 at the end of my tax season. I had the finest clothes, the finest cars, bunch of women. I used to fly around the world, South America, the Caribbean, Africa, all over the United States. I was single. I had a house in Jersey City. I had a house in Chilltown. And one day, in the matter of a 2-hour span, my life got flipped upside down on its head. I need 100 thumbs up, man. Y'all only gonna give me 50 thumbs up, man. 50, that's all I could get is 50, man. That's all I could get, 50. I had 900. No, I didn't. That's a lie. I had $275,000 cash in my business checking account, and I had $656,000 in my TD Ameritrade account, which was like $930,000 liquid cash that I could turn into real cash in a day, in 24 hours. And then I owned a house in Paterson, New Jersey that was worth like $150, like $150,000. I owned that one free and clear. It didn't have no mortgage. So I was worth about 1.159, 1,160,000 at 42 years old. I became a millionaire at 38. Legally. Wasn't selling no drugs, wasn't sticking no pistol in nobody's mouth, wasn't robbing nobody, none of that. Just straight up Just straight up business. And then the feds came to my office. The feds came to my office. The IRS, the IRS-CID, the FBI, the DEA, ATF. They had on all these windbreaker jackets. You know them navy blue windbreaker jackets? You know them navy blue windbreaker jackets with the letters on the back? Y'all know what I'm talking about, yes or no? You know what I'm talking about? Right. They had a windbreaker convention at my office. Everybody had a windbreaker on but me. Everybody had a windbreaker. And they came in my office with the search warrant, and they searched my office. And that was the beginning, that was the germination of a federal investigation into my life and into my business. That was April the 14th, 2011. April the 14th, 2011. I was 42 years old. And at this particular time, money was my religion. Material things were extremely important to me. And my dick controlled me. 1,000%. 1,000%. 1,000%. 1,000%. 1,000%. What's up? My value system was based on my self-value, how I valued myself and how I perceived myself was based on external things, clothes, money, property, cars, women. That was my life. This is my real life. I ain't got no fake profile like you. I'm not like you. You not like me. You might be foundational Black American like me and do all that Black power shit, but you are not like me. I'm different from you. I don't have a fake profile. This is my real life. You not like me. And that was my mentality. That was my mentality. And I wasn't a bad guy. I ain't never really been no dirty nigga, man. You know, cutthroat, stab in the back. That ain't never been who I was. I was a liar. 1,000%. I was a manipulator, 10,000%. I was a deceiver, 10,000%. I was cowardly, 10,000%. I was insecure, 10,000%. But I wasn't a bad guy. I've always had a good soul and a good heart. But when I look at who I used to be now, see, y'all see Shawn G now. You see me now. And you see how fly I am now, how dope I am now. Because I am that. I'm dope, I'm fly, I'm all of that. But I wasn't always this. who I used to be when I had a net worth of 1.2 million. And when the feds put my PSI together, which is what they're doing for Puffy, my PSI, goddamn Rod D, what up, nigga? Thank you for your channel membership. My PSI, it's in my PSI. The feds calculated that in my PSI. Call down there to Newark. Call down there to the feds in Newark, 50 Walnut Street. Tell them to run my registration number, 659-32050, and tell them to give you, tell them I said it's okay for them to give you a copy of my PSI. You can read it. Read it. Go get my PSI. You can download it off of Pacer. Go pull down my whole case and read my whole case. I don't care. I don't care. Read it. I'll read it to you. And as I reflect back on who I am today, the Shawn Gumby that I am tonight, and I am nowhere near a 1.2 million net worth, not even close. But the Shawn G that I am tonight is 17 times better than the Shawn G that had a $1.2 million net worth. It's not even close. The dude that I was when I had all of the bells and whistles before I went to the joint versus the dude that came out of prison and who I am today, two entirely different people. And who you looking at today is 17 times better than the Shawn G that I had tall dollars. My money was tall. In 2011, when the feds came, my money was tall. Today, August the 10th, 2025, my money like this. My money down here. My money down here. My money short. My money short. But me as a person, me as an individual, I am more satisfied and more content and more secure and more happy and more confident. I have more self-acceptance. My self-esteem is higher today than it was when I had all the money and the clothes. And trust me, when I tell you I had it, I really had it. I really did. So what happened was, when the feds came and they started investigating me, right? I panicked. And I started doing these super high risky, crazy options trades in the options market. And when I looked up my $656,000 that I had in my TD Ameritrade account was down to $3,000, $3,300, something like that, $3,315 and some change. This is a true story. This is a true story. This is a true story. And having squandered and lost the money that I had little Shawn. His mother was pregnant with him at this time. So I couldn't even enjoy the birth of my first child because I was under investigation. The feds had a flashlight and a magnifying glass up my ass with my first child. So I couldn't even enjoy that. Then I lost all my money. My doing at my own hands. Everybody that I thought loved me showed me they didn't love me. People started stabbing me in the back. People that I knew for a very long time, people that I helped, started cooperating against me with the feds. And I was afraid. A federal investigation is a very, very serious matter. It's a very, very serious matter. And I was afraid. And that turned into a self-fulfilling, doom-filled prophecy, a spiral down. And I went into a depression that I almost didn't come out of. And I was so mad. I was so mad with myself. I was so angry with me. And I was so critical. I was so overly critical and mad and angry with myself that morphed into self-hatred, self-rejection, self-loathing. Because what I began to do was live in the past. When I lost my money and the feds came and motherfuckers started cooperating against me, women that I was involved with, I started to look and I started to live in the past saying, woulda, coulda, shoulda. I shoulda did that. I shouldn't have did that. I should have definitely not did that over there. Why did I invite this person into my life? I should have never did that. I began to replay over and 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 over again in my mind, decisions that I made, choices that I made. Nobody made them for me. I chose these people. I chose her. I chose her. I chose him. I chose them. And I began to replay like, that was dumb, Shawn. Why did you do that? And I began to live in the past and started to say things like, I wish I could change. I wish I could change that. I wish I could change that. I wish I could do that over. I wish I could do that over. I wish I could do that over. But that ain't reality. The reality is, let the dead past bury the dead. The past is dead, it's done. There's nothing you could do to change it. All you and I can do is look back. You make yourself a window. You make yourself a window. And this is what you do with the past. You make yourself a window and you go to the window and you look and you look out and you see the mistakes you made, but you keep the window closed and then you turn around and then you move forward. What you don't do, which is what I did, I went back to the past. I opened up the door, left the door open, walked out the door, and started to walk back and live in my past that I couldn't change. And all that did was just send me deeper and deeper and deeper into regret, remorse, guilt, humiliation, shame, anger, loneliness, and depression. At the same time, I was feeling all that at the same time. At the same time. At the same time. I was feeling all that. I was feeling all that at the same time. Same time. And I couldn't stop living in the past. I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. And I used to think, like, is this shit a dream? Am I dreaming? Is this shit a dream? But every night I went to sleep and every day I woke up, it was the same thing. And during this 3.5-year period, I don't think not one night in over 1,100 days in a row, I don't think I slept more than 4 to 5 hours in 3.5 years. Poor diet, insomnia, poor quality of sleep are hazardous to your health. When I was not sleeping regularly, my cognitive functions wasn't operating right. My judgment, my decision making, my choices, I wasn't as sharp as like I am today. Today, I make sure after I do this live, I'm going home, taking me a shower, I put my pajamas on, I get my black ass in the bed, and I make sure I get 7 hours of sleep every single night, without fail. I don't wake up at 2, 3 in the morning and go do booty calls. No. I be sleep because I understand that sleep is the natural penicillin. Sleep is a natural steroid. Sleep is the natural regeneration process. Sleep is the natural healer, right? When the serotonin, when the sun goes down and the serotonin and your circadian rhythm kicks in, the body is supposed to go to sleep. And then when the sun comes up at the crack of dawn, the circadian rhythm tells you to wake up, light and dark. The body is supposed to be in tune with the circadian rhythm. And so while all this is going on, I'm having a terrible relationship, a terrible battle, a terrible fight with custody of little Shawn. I'm being investigated by the federal government. I was paying my lawyers. I paid my lawyers $61,459.47 to represent me in my federal case. I had 2 lawyers. $61,459.47, and this was in 2011. That's what I paid. I was paying this lawyer $700 an hour, and that lawyer $700 an hour. They worked at the same firm, and when I went to meet with one, they both was there. So I was paying $1,400 an hour just for my lawyers. My retainer to just retain these niggas was $35,000. 2 white lawyers. I had it. One of them was Jewish, and I think the other one was Polish. 2 white boys. The retainer was $35,000. I paid him. I gave it to him. I had it. My money was told it. So I got all of this going on. Federal investigation. They watching me. I know they watching me, following me and shit. Battling for custody of my son. Shawn is born. That's a mess. I lost all of my money. All of my houses are in foreclosure. My businesses, my revenue got cut in half once the word got around town that I was being investigated by the feds. I lost half of my clients right off rip. People in my area were gossiping about me, talking about me, celebrating my downfall. They put my name in the paper. My name was, if you go on the internet right now, if you Google my name, my whole case gonna come up. All you got to do is just go Google Shawn Gunby tax, T-A-X. The whole page gonna fill up. So all of this is going on, and I'm living in the past too, and I'm regretting everything. I'm mad with me, I'm angry with me, I hate me, everything. So I go down into a depression that I was in for 3.5 years. Put them likes on 200. So then my lawyers tell me that, Shawn, you got mandatory prison time. You got mandatory incarceration. And I'm telling them, like, man, you got to get me some probation or some home confinement. I done gave y'all $61,459.47. You got to get me some probation. He said, I never will forget it. He told me, He said, man, I can't guarantee you. He said, even after you pay me, and you may pay me up to $100,000, I still can't guarantee that you won't go to prison. That's what he told me. I swear to God, he told me that. And when he told me that, it scared me. It scared me. Because I didn't want to go to prison. And so I'm dealing with all of this, and I'm living in the past, and I'm in this deep depression. And then finally, I called my cousin down in Charlotte. He was living in Charlotte, North Carolina. And he had did Fed time. And I was telling him what was going on. And he told me, this is my cousin Got, man. Got died. Got sent me $90 too when I was in prison. He sent me $90. And when I got out, I called him up. I said, yo, Got, give me your address so I could send you the $90 back that you gave me. You sent to me when I was in prison. He said, Shawn, don't worry about it, man. You keep it. But anyway, before I went to the joint, he told me, he said, man, he's from down south. He said, man, I was telling him, you know, I'm depressed, right? So all I'm doing is talking negative. Everything out of my mouth is negative, negative, negative. Complaining about this one ratted on me, this one told on me, this one set me up. Oh man, living in the past. And he said, man, he said, Shawn, man. He said, man, look, man, you got to get that shit behind you. He said, man, you can't do nothing with that shit in front of you. You got to get that shit behind you. And when he told me that, he said, man, call your lawyer. Call your lawyer, man, and tell your lawyer, man, you ready to go to court, man. He's a country nigga from down south. He's from Bennettsville, South Carolina, but he lived in Charlotte. Man, call your lawyer. Call your lawyer, man. Tell your lawyer, man, you ready to go to court, man, because you got to get this shit behind you. You can't do nothing with this shit in front of you. And a bell went off. And he said, man, this your first offense, man. You ain't gonna get no real time. You ain't gonna get no more than about 2 years, man. You gonna go in there, man. You gonna be out before you know it. And that hit me in my chest. When he told me that, it hit me in my chest. And I got off the phone and I called my lawyer and I said, yo, man, let's go to court. Because the lawyer was telling me, yo, Shawn, we're going to slow this thing down. We're going to take our time, because any case that's rushed fast never turns out good. He said, we're going to wait and let the judge deal with a bunch of other cases. And when we do go before the judge, he'll look down and see that this case is so old, and they have a tendency to be more lenient the older the case. I don't know if the nigga was telling me the truth or not, but that's what he told me. So I was scared anyway. I didn't know what I was doing. I just was paying him and following what he told me. But when my cousin told me that, I called him up. I said, man, let's go to court, man. Let's get this over with. And he was like, all right. He was like, all right. And I went on the court. And I ended up firing them. I ended up firing both those two lawyers because I ended up firing them and getting me a public pretender because they had did some shady shit with me. I was out in Las Vegas. With this honey. And my lawyer called me and he left a voice message. A voicemail. So I get back to my phone, I open up my voicemail, and I'm listening to the voice message, and the lawyer says, "Hey, Shawn, what's up? This is so-and-so. I want you to come down to my office on Wednesday at 3 o'clock so we can start preparing to go meet with the government to go to court." And I'm looking at the phone, and the voicemail is 2 minutes long, but he stops talking after like the 32nd second, right? The 33rd second of the 2 minutes. So when he stopped talking, I started to delete the voicemail, but I didn't delete it for some reason. I just let it play, and then I can hear this motherfucker, my lawyer, talking to somebody in the background, talking about me and my case, saying, "Oh yeah, this is Robin Hood. He was getting clients bigger refunds with phony deductions." And I'm listening to this voicemail, and I'm saying to myself, this can't be right. Who is he talking to about my case? Because I understand that attorney-client privilege is one of the duties of the attorney is the duty of confidentiality. So I was pissed off. I was hot. I'm already going through all this. Now, you mean to tell me my lawyers, the ones that hired to help me, y'all talking to somebody behind my back? I said, oh man. I said, yo, listen. And when you think it can't get worse, don't believe that it can get worse. So I started to call him back, right? I was mad as a motherfucker. I started to call him up, but I said, nah. He said, wait till Wednesday when I get back and go down there at 3 o'clock. So I flew back. Wednesday came. I went and picked up little Shawn from daycare. Little Shawn was 18 months old. I picked him up from daycare, and we went down to Newark, New Jersey, and we went to the lawyer's office, and I had this little speaker at home that I could plug in to an auxiliary, and I could make the voicemail be loud through the speaker. So I went into the conference room. They showed me to the conference room. Me and Lil Shawn was in there. I had bought him an orange juice. I plugged up the speaker, tested it, it worked. So I put it right at the point of the voicemail. So the lawyers came in, both lawyers came in. This white girl came in, I don't know who she was. And then there was a private investigator that my lawyers had hired with my money. I don't know what the hell he did, but I was paying him too. And when he came in, when everybody came in, me and Shawn was sitting right here. I was sitting right here. Shawn was sitting right there. The main lawyer was sitting right there. The other lawyer was sitting right here to my right. The white girl was sitting down there, and the other white dude was sitting down there. And I said to him, I called him by his name, and I said, I want you to hear something. I said, I want you to hear something. And I played the voicemail. And when he heard it, he turned red as a fire truck. The white girl did this. She was writing. She was looking at me. When she heard it, she said, she put her head down, and then the other white dude was like this. And I said, I pulled out all my checks. I put out all my checks, the $35,000 retainer check, all the checks I had paid him. And I showed it to him. I said, now, show me on these checks where it say Robin Hood. Show me on these checks that I done paid you this $61,459.47. Show me where it say Robin Hood on these checks. And he couldn't say nothing. He went to stuttering. And I told him, I said, man, you have violated my attorney-client privilege. And I want all my money back. And he said, I can't give you all your money back. This was the main lawyer. But his homeboy right here, soon as he said that, I can't give you none of your money back, my man said, ho, 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 ho. He said, hold on a second. And he took over the conversation. And he said something like, Shawn, you know, we apologize for this and that. You know, we're gonna call you, because I was packing up my stuff and I was leaving. So I dipped. So I go to sleep. The next day I wake up. I call my lawyer, right? I had his office phone and his cell phone. When you paying a lawyer that kind of money, you have their cell phone, their home phone, their goddamn office phone, everything. I'm calling his cell phone, he won't answer. I'm calling his office phone, he won't answer. I'm leaving messages, he won't call me back. So I'm like, man, what's going on? I was saying, like, I'm cursed. Look at everything that's going on with me. I done lost my business, lost my money, living in the past, all my houses in foreclosure, I go into prison, I'm scared, you understand, custody battle, and then the lawyers that I'm paying, now they done fucked me around. Man, let me tell you, man, it was rough, baby. It got rough. It got rough, man. It got rough. It got rough, man. So this motherfucker won't get on the phone. So I start calling the legal counsel of the law firm. And I'm calling the partner in charge. I'm telling him what happened. And I'm saying, just have my man call me. Tell him to call me. If he would have called me, if that lawyer would have called me and said, Shawn, he'd have said, Shawn, man, I fucked up, man. I made a mistake. I was wrong. Let me make it up to you, man. You know, let me take you, Shawn. Let's meet up. Let me buy you a slice of pizza and a soda. I'm gonna get me a slice of pizza and a soda, and let's talk about it. If he would have did that, I would have respected him. And this was a very, very high power lawyer in northern New Jersey and the southern district of New York. Well known. Well known. This motherfucker wouldn't even call me back. Rich. But his money and his power and his position and his job wasn't indicative of his manhood. See, he was less than a man because he couldn't, number one, apologize to me as a client. Number one, apologize to me as a man, you know, and then make it right. So, long story short, I ended up getting all my money back from them. They wanted to give me 41,000. They wanted to keep 20,000. I was like, nah, motherfucker, give me all my shit. So I got all my money back, and I went to the public pretender, and he started talking to me. The public defender started talking to me about cooperating, becoming an informant, signing a 5K1, and all that shit. And I said, man, I'm not doing that. No. He pulled out the sentencing guideline table, and he showed me my base offense level on the sentencing guidelines. I was a level 15, category 1. And my guideline range was 18 months to 24 months. The judge could either give me 18 months on the low end or 24 months on the high end of the guideline range. The judge could have also, if he felt like it, went outside the guideline range and gave me an upward departure, went above the guideline range and gave me 36 months or 42 months or whatever. If my criminal history dictated that he is justified by going outside of the guideline range to the upside. And what would justify that would be like if this was my second offense of doing the same thing, or if I had just got in trouble a few years back and now I'm back in court. If they see your criminal history, you constantly in trouble, they will do an upward departure. But I didn't have any criminal history points. My case that I caught in Atlanta was over 15 years old, and if your criminal past is more than 15 years, they can't count it toward your guidelines for sentencing. So he didn't do a downward departure and go below the 18 months. He just went to the low end of the guideline and gave me 18 months. And I went to prison. And as crazy as it may sound, it was when I got to prison, as crazy as it may sound, and I was scared to death to go. I was nervous as a cat on a hot tin roof. My self-surrender date was October the 6th, 2014. I flew out there to West Virginia. I stayed the night, and I flew from Newark, New Jersey to Charleston, West Virginia. I had a first-class seat. I bought me a first-class seat. I had some travel credits that I hadn't used for some tickets me and Shawn had, and I bought me a one-way ticket from Newark, New Jersey to Charleston, West Virginia. First class. And I told the stewardess, I said, man, she said, Shawn, she said, what you want to eat? I said, man, bring me everything. Because I said, I'm going to prison. So shit, bring me everything. Everything y'all got, bring it. Except alcohol. So I got to Charleston. I got me a hotel room. I woke up the next day and I caught the bus. From Charleston, West Virginia to Morgantown, West Virginia. And I'm on this bus. I remember we stopped at Burger King. Yes, we did. We stopped at Burger King. And I'm on this bus, I'm saying, man, Shawn, nigga, you riding this bus to prison, nigga. This ain't just no ordinary bus ride. And it was like, where's my life going, man? But anyway, we got to Morgantown. I went and rented me another hotel room at the Hampton Inn in Morgantown, West Virginia. I woke up the next morning. I went downstairs. They had the breakfast buffet. I ate. I got me some waffles, sausages, eggs, goddamn grits, biscuit with the jelly, bagel, muffin, orange juice, apple juice, coffee. I'm eating everything. So after I get finished eating, I look down at my watch and it's like 9:30, 9:40, and the feds already sent me my letter telling me that I gotta be at the prison by 12 noon. If I get there at 12:01, they are gonna issue a warrant for my arrest. I'm gonna be considered a fugitive, and they're gonna send the U.S. Marshals to come track me down. So I'm in the hotel. I call a cab. I call a taxi company. I say, yo, I'm at the Hampton Inn over here, wherever I was at. I need a ride. So the taxi dude came. I packed up all my books, everything I had. And the taxi guy said, where you going? I said, take me to prison. Take me to the federal prison. I said, you know where that's at? He said, yeah, I know where it's at. I said, take me there. Take me over there. Take me there. Take me there. Take me there. So we driving over there. I said, yo, go by the post office first. So he took me to the post office and I mailed all my books, everything I was gonna read, all the books that I wanted to read. I went to the post office and I mailed them to me with my prison address. So that when I got to the joint and I got checked in, I would get on mail call, the books that I mailed to myself would come to me and I would have my reading materials so I could begin to read and to study. I did that. That's a true story. That's a true story. This is a true story. This ain't no fake profile. I'm not like you. You not like me. You got a fake profile. You fake. Your life fake, and you always gonna be fake. That's why you don't get nowhere in life. So after I mailed the books off, I said, take me to prison. And he took me, he drove me right up to the prison. I seen it. And he dropped me off and I got out. And then there was like this little booth with a cop in there. So I walk over to the booth. I say, I'm here to self-surrender. He said, all right, sit down. Just like that. And it was a chair there. Well, I might have sat on the ground. He said, sit down. And I was waiting there. And while I was waiting there, this is when the shit hit me. This is when it hit me. So I'm waiting there. I'm by the booth. And this pickup truck comes back in with inmates on it that go out into the town on work detail. They are not orderlies in the prison. They go out town and clean up the parks or paint curbs or whatever they do. About 3 of them came back in a pickup truck. with the khaki suits on, with the federal prison khaki suits on. And I seen them, when them niggas came back, I seen them, I said, oh, man. I said, oh, man, I'm going to prison. Ah. So they went in. They went in. And then the cop said, all right, come on. Or another cop came to get me and took me to R&D. R&D is receiving, and I don't forget what the D is for. Took me to R&D. So I had on some jeans, t-shirt, sneakers. They made me strip out of all of that down to my balls. I stripped out of all of that. They took all of my clothes, and it was me and this other little white boy from me and him went in together. He was from West Virginia. He was a mail carrier. He worked for the post office. He delivered mail. And what this nigga was doing, he was delivering the mail, going in people's mail, taking the credit cards out of the envelopes, activating them, and then using other people's credit cards to fund his methamphetamine addiction. He was a meth head. So me and him was talking, and they stripped him down, stripped me down, and then they gave me some hospital scrubs. They gave me some hospital scrubs with some Bruce Lee sneakers. They gave me some hospital scrubs with some Bruce Lee sneakers. And then we was there, and then this inmate came and got us, and he took us to health services first. You go to health services. We went down to health services. They wanted to draw my blood and shit. I was like, nah, I'm not giving you no blood. No. The nurse took my blood pressure. Oh, shit. Hey, man, hey, listen. Yo, I swear to God, this is a true story, man. This ain't no fake profile like you. I ain't fake like you. Yo, they took me to health services. Yo, they took me to health services. The nurse sat me down. She took my blood pressure. My blood pressure was 140 over 110 or some shit like that. My shit was sky high. I was scared to death. Yo, so when she told me, I said, because my mother's a nurse, right? So I know that the normal blood pressure is 120 over 80, 110 over 70. That's a normal blood pressure, right? My shit came back 140 over 110. So I said, yo, I looked at her and I said, that's high. She said, she looked at me, she said, what'd she say? She said something to the effect of, that ain't nothing. I see that every day. You know what I'm saying? meaning that everybody, all the dudes that go through there, when you going through R&D and you getting onto a new prison, your blood pressure is gonna be high. You know what I'm saying? She said, I ain't worried about that. She said, I see this all the time. So then the nigga, the dude, the inmate, he was from North Carolina. He walked me from health services to my unit, Gerard unit, on the top of the hill. So now we walking through the yard. All the inmates is out on the yard. They in the weight pit. They on the handball court. They just sitting around. They walking around. They either got their khakis on or their sweatpants. And I'm walking through the yard. I'm the only nigga with sky blue hospital scrubs, which they give to everybody new, and Bruce Lee sneakers. So when you the new nigga walking in, everybody do this. All eyes on you. All eyes on you. So I'm like, oh man, this shit is crazy. So he walked me up to Gerard unit. Soon as I walk in, 2 or 3 inmates come straight to me. 2 or 3 inmates come straight to me. Yo, where you from? I said, I'm from Jersey. He said, oh, you gotta talk to Corey. Corey was from Newark. And they start calling Corey, yo, Corey! And then I went to see the dorm supervisor, Mr. Leahy. And Leahy, my first bunk was in the overflow. But I stayed back there like an hour. And then he moved me from back there, he moved me back to B wing. And that's where I started my healing process, man. That was when I started to heal. And that was when I started to come out of my depression. I remember the first night I went to sleep there, nigga, my bunkie was from Baltimore. This nigga snored. He snored like a John Deere tractor, man. I couldn't even sleep the first night. But I finally got me some good sleep. And it was like a relief. It was like a relief when I got in there, because I didn't have to fight no more, right? I didn't have to fight to keep up this image that I was still rich. I didn't have to fight to keep up this image like I was still this big real estate broker. I still had all this money. I still had the fly cars, the fly girls, the fly clothes, because I didn't have any of that anymore. And what I was trying to do on the street was trying to front like I was still who I was, and I wasn't. But when I got to prison, I was able to like let go, right? It was like I had this big backpack full of cinder blocks, right? I was carrying around all this weight. You know what I'm saying? All this weight, self-hatred, guilt, shame, remorse, lost my money, custody battle, lost all my houses, lost my business, I'm in prison. And I was carrying that shit around for 3.5 years like this. I was carrying it around like this. And it was weighing me down. And when I got to prison, I was able to take that backpack off and say, get off of me. And I was able to straighten up. And it was there in prison that I really looked at myself. I really examined the part that I played in my situation. I looked at my mistakes. I stopped blaming other people for what happened to me, and I started blaming myself. I looked at, where I fucked up at, and I began, not right then, but I began to see that I needed to forgive myself, right? I needed to forgive myself. I needed to change. I needed to let go of the past, right? Like in that backpack, the past was in there. I took that backpack off. I let go of the past. That shit is over. Fuck it. What I once had and who I was, I don't care. That shit is dead. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nothing I could do about it now. I'm in here. I got to do this time, and that's what I'm going to do. And I changed in there, man. And I became the best person that I've ever been in my life in there. I got into the best mental conditioning that I've ever been in, the best spiritual conditioning that I've ever been in, the best physical shape that I've ever been in. And the main thing that I did that helped me was I apologized to myself, man. And I told myself that I was sorry for doing what I had did to me and for putting myself in that position. And I told myself that I said, Shawn, I'm never gonna fuck you over again. I said, Shawn, I'm never gonna fuck you over again. And I said, I don't care what nobody thinks, what nobody says, because that was a big part of my life. I always concerned myself with what other people thought about me, how they felt about me, what would they say if I did this, how would they think about me if I did that. Y'all know me now, I don't give a fuck. Fuck all y'all. And when I adopted that attitude, my life got better. And I went in there and I came out. And I came out better. I came out dead broke. I came out dead broke. I came out dead broke. I had $1,900. I was homeless. With $1,900. And I started over with that. And that was in 2016. I got out in 2016. I started me a window cleaning business. And my first window that I cleaned was a $3 window. And that was after maybe 20 people had told me no. I had never cleaned a window in my life. I had a bachelor's degree in accounting and a master's degree in finance with a 3.28 grade point average, cum laude with honors, and couldn't get a job. So I started me a window cleaning business, and I started my YouTube channel. And from that story, that's who you looking at right now in this screen. That's who you looking at. That's my real life. This ain't no fake profile. So, I've been there. I work out, I exercise every single day. I work out every single day because that's what I did in prison. And that's what I remember that helped me get my life back in order, right? When I got to prison, I was 195 pounds. I was almost 200 pounds. And I'm only 5'7". I'm a short nigga. I had high blood pressure, high triglycerides, high cholesterol, sleep apnea, erectile dysfunction, borderline diabetic, insomnia, and I was depressed. When I got to prison, when I walked out of there, I was 172 pounds and in the best shape of my life. And I never stopped and I never let go. I used to deal with 6 and 7 and 8, 9 women. I used to deal with a lot of women. I don't deal with a lot of women no more. I don't do that. Fuck you. No way. I got shit to do. I spend time with my son. I focus on things that are important. My health is great. I don't take no medication for nothing. I haven't been to the doctor. I got out of prison in 2016. I haven't been to the doctor not one time. Never been in the hospital. I went and got some blood work done last year. I'm perfect. My body is perfect. I go to sleep every night 7 hours. I eat clean. I mind my business. I leave yours alone. I don't go to the clubs. I don't smoke weed. I don't drink liquor. I don't drink beer. I don't get high. I don't do nothing to destroy me, man. I love me, man. I'm the best nigga in the world. Nobody can compete with me. Nobody. I don't suffer from depression. I'm enthusiastic every day. I wake up every day. I love what I do. I love being a content creator. I still got my window cleaning business, but I only do big jobs. I only do big food chain, fast food chain restaurants. I don't do no more $10 windows, $20 windows. I only do big jobs. And never went and got welfare, never went and got food stamps, never went and got Section 8, never got no government assistance. You know? So if you depressed, it may get worse before it get better. Because that's damn sure what happened to me. I used to think, man, it can't get no worse. And it would get worse. And I used to be like, yo, damn. But I hung in there. And little Shawn, my son, I remember he was like 18 months old. And he would come to me. I would be fucked up, depressed like a motherfucker. And he would come to me out of the blue and say, Daddy, I love you. And that shit used to fill my cup up. That shit used to fill my cup up, and I'd go one more day. And I used to look at him like, you love me? Why do you love me? Because I fucking hate me right now. But he used to tell me that shit out of the blue. He used to tell me that shit out of the blue, man. And he was the only one there. I got one visit when I was in prison. That was my mother and little Shawn. That's it. That's it. None of the bitches that I helped, that I paid the car notes, I paid rent, I paid car insurance, I bought groceries, you know, I helped, bought cars. None of them bitches came to see me when I was in prison. None of them. Not one. Not one. But I wasn't no good though. I wasn't no good. But I'm out of that shit now, man. I'm glad. I love my life, man. I love what I do. I'm my own boss. I'm my own boss. I do what I want. And I got a good life, man. I got a good life. I got a good life. You know what I'm saying? I got a good life. I like my life. I wouldn't want to be nobody else. I wouldn't want to be. I'm not ashamed of what happened to me. You can't be ashamed of your life. If you living in shame of what's happened to you, things you have done, and maybe things people have done to you, you ain't going nowhere. You gotta, you gotta, you gotta come to a level of acceptance of your life and who you are if you want to be happy. If you can't accept yourself, you finished. If you're trying to be somebody else, if you're trying to be fake, like these fake ass niggas in these profiles in the comment section, these niggas have no life, you know. But hey, that's, you know, if that's the kind of life you want to live, then you can do that. But my religion is reality. My religion is reality. I don't have a lot of friends. I don't want a lot of friends. I don't want no friends. I know who my friends are. The people that stepped up for me when I was in prison, I know who they are. I know exactly who they are because I wrote their names down. And whoever didn't help me in my time of need, I don't fuck with them. A lot of the girls I used to deal with when I got out, they tried to come back. People that wrote me off, they told me that I was done. They called me stupid. That nigga finished. That nigga lost $1 million. Nigga dumb. They used to see me cleaning windows. They used to ride by, blow the horn, make sure I saw them see me. And now, they see me now. They want to collab with me on my platform. I don't think so. Get your ass up out of here. So, a lot of people faced with what I was faced probably would have took their life. A lot of people, when they lose the kind of money that I had, they take their life. They can't see no light at the end of the tunnel. They see no hope. You gotta figure your situation out, you know. And let me say this here to you. Your help, the help that you need, and the only help that you're gonna get is who's looking back at the mirror. Nothing else is gonna help you. No God in the sky is gonna help you. No religious book, no religious leader, nothing. No religion is gonna help you. The only thing that's gonna help you save your life and get you out of your depression, get you out of your rut, get you out of that bad situation is you. If you don't demand yourself to help you, you fucked up. You done. You finished. Finished. Gotta help yourself. Gotta help yourself. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes in life, when we think our life is falling apart, it's actually falling together. Sometimes when we think our life is falling apart, it's actually falling together. Divorce, relationship breakup, fired from a job, betrayed by a family member, business failure. And we just think of all our life is falling apart. But if you do the work and give time to do what time do, give time to do what time do. These things that we characterized as bad experiences could end up being some of the best things that could ever happen to us. You know, for me, going to prison saved my life. That was one of the best things that ever happened to me, man. First of all, getting clean from drugs and alcohol was number one. I got clean 34 years, 10 months, and 25 days ago. The birth of my son, and then going to prison. Those are the three spiritual experiences that impacted my life in a positive way. That shit saved my life. It helped me. It don't help everybody, but it helped me. You know, and I'm not ashamed of my life, not in the least, because if you ask me, I'm better than everybody walking around on the planet. My confidence is supreme. You know what I'm saying? My arrogance is real. Me being conceited is true, right? My belief in my abilities is true. And in the same breath, I have humility and respect for the universe, because I know that you could wake up one day and life can punch you in the mouth, you know, but even when you down, you still gotta be confident. It's hard, you know, it's hard, but I don't know what to tell you. Some of y'all may make it out of your depression, and some of y'all may not. Everybody don't make it. Some of y'all may get clean, and some of y'all may die. I don't know. All I know is that I made it out of mine. And righteously speaking, that's all I really care about, is me and my life. You know? You know, and sometimes the universe will put you in a situation. The universe put me in a situation where nobody could help me but me. Nobody could help me but me. You know what I'm saying? It put me in that situation. Nobody could help me, no amount of money. I had to go through the process. I had to go through it and grow through it, man. I had to go through it and go through it. Yep. So, you know, you're not alone. You're not by yourself. If you're feeling bad, you're feeling down, hey, you gotta find some kind of way to pick yourself up, man. You gotta find some kind of way to pick yourself up and make you a comeback. And use your haters. One thing I did was I used the people that cooperated against me. I used my haters. I used the people that gossiped about me, the ones that said I would never make a comeback, the ones that said I'll never be as rich as I was before, the ones that said I was dumb, the ones that said I was stupid. I used that shit. The people that worked against me, the people that cooperated against me, I used that shit to motivate the fuck out of me to like, I said, man, I'm not gonna let these niggas beat me. I was better than these niggas before, and I'm still better than them. Still. And now I'm even sharper. You gotta use the people that hate you for revenge. You gotta get revenge. You gotta get revenge. There's nothing wrong with revenge. Revenge is good. And the way you get revenge, the way I got revenge, the way I get revenge is everybody, I was a public failure, right? Because I was popular in northern New Jersey for business, for doing people's taxes and real estate. Everybody knew me. So when I suffered my fall, everybody knew it. And it was public, right? And the word was that nigga fell off. He ain't gonna never come back. So what I did, my revenge was that I built an international social media channel. I've generated over 200 million views on YouTube, me and Little Shawn together. This is my second YouTube channel. I had another channel that ran up to 100,000 subscribers, 98,500 to be exact. It had did like 130 million views. I took it down because they shadow banned it. And I started this one. And so, where once that I was a public failure, now I'm a public success. And I put it in their face. The people that doubted me, I put it in their face. I put my success in their face. That's my revenge. So look now, motherfucker. What about this? You still working on that same job you was working on back when I fell, or you got fired. You got fired off that job. Your life done went down. You still on drugs or whatever. I put it right in their face with no mercy. And that's my revenge. That makes me feel good. I love getting revenge. You gotta get revenge. You gotta get revenge. The people that do you wrong, the people that stab you in the back, the people that hurt you, you gotta get revenge so that you can be at peace. Gotta get it. Gotta get it. That's what I believe. I don't care what you believe. You may not agree. You may not agree. But whatever depression you in, got to come up out of there. I don't know if you could do it. And I'm not going to sit on this thing and tell you all y'all can do it, because everybody can't do it. Some people get divorced and their spirit is broken and they never put themselves back together. Some people, the death of their mother or the death of their father, it breaks them, it breaks their spirit, and they're never able to put themselves back together. They lose a job, they lose a business, they lose a lot of money, and they're never able to put themselves back together. They constantly live in the past. They never recover. They stay stuck and they stay broken. They walk around in public and in society and in life like everything is okay, but inside of them, they're broken. You gotta be able to fix yourself, man. You gotta be able to help yourself and repair yourself. You gotta be able to do that. Gotta be able to do that. That's what adversity is all, that's what overcoming adversity is all about. Have y'all ever heard the story about the Phoenix? Kenyatta Ali, what up? Shout out to all my members. Tony, I see you. Y'all ever heard the story about the Phoenix? The bird, the Phoenix? Yes or no? Listen, everybody's gonna die. You're gonna die. I'm gonna die. Death is a natural part of existence, man. My mother died. Everybody's gonna die. If you can't get past that, then you're not dealing with reality. So the story of the phoenix is this. And when I went to Egypt, I've been to Egypt 3 times. I went to Africa. I've been to Egypt 3 times, Sudan, South Africa, Swaziland, Lesotho. Um, the phoenix was a legendary bird. The phoenix was a legendary bird that lived in the Libyan desert. And the phoenix destroyed himself on the pyre by fire. He was consumed in fire. He destroyed himself, this bird. She didn't destroy him. Another bird didn't destroy him. He destroyed himself. And he burned himself to ashes on the pyre, Pyre. And from his own ashes, the phoenix, the bird, from his ashes, put himself back together, and he rose again to live another 500 years. So he destroyed himself, and then he rose again. And if you ever go to Egypt and you go into the monuments and the tombs, you will see pictures of the phoenix all over Egypt. The Temple of Karnak, the Temple of Luxor, all of the monuments is this phoenix bird. And the phoenix symbolizes that you destroy yourself and then you have to put yourself back together. It's a resurrection. It's a rebirth, right? It's a resurgence to come again, anew. And that is a part of life. That's a skill. That's a skill in life that you have to be able to do. And sometimes that includes getting a divorce. Sometimes that includes leaving that toxic job. Sometimes that includes getting away from your family. Sometimes that includes getting in a relationship, getting married, getting close to, whatever your situation is, you have to figure out what it is and prescribe yourself your own antidote for what ails you. Because what may work for you may kill somebody else. Peace.